So, bienvenidos. Hello and welcome, everybody. So, my name is Smaya Nabi, and I've been provided with this honor of being the host of today's prestigious event. I hope all of you are safe and excellent. So, on behalf of In2Future.com, it's my pleasure to host today's International Innovative Future Education Summit and Awards 2021 virtual event. The event revolves around accommodating personalities who've made audacious attempts to chase their dreams with enthusiasm. It's not just an event for us, but a very important event. It's a stepping stone in our journey of our desired attainments. It defines, praises, and recognizes educators, principals, as well as individuals and management of those educational organizations that are empowering educators, creators, and innovators in learning environment and entrepreneurial ecosystem at their campus. Educators from 50 plus countries will participate in this event. The endeavor and hard work all of you aid in your personal and professional life have been enormous, crowned with all of the zeniths of plethora. Your brilliance and determination are awe-inspiring. The footsteps of your pursuits and hard work have created a revolution in the education sector. You are indeed a distinctive personality to look up to, and your contribution has escalated the art of education. Now, our motive is to give a stage of recognition to those who are doing commendable work in innovation and entrepreneurial teaching. We, with our sincere, sustained efforts, have reached towards final formulation of our mental fascination and professional aspirations. We believe teaching is the field of intellect, hard work, courage, facing challenges, taking risks, and at the same time, becoming a very good innovator, actor, caring mother, a psychologist, and a role of model for the students to look up to. Teaching is never easier, and those who choose this profession are really heroes. And we believe that. For their undoubted toil, teachers truly deserve an incentive in the shape of appreciation and award. So this is our motto, and we believe it from the bottom of our heart. So I believe that I've already introduced myself. My name is Smaya Nabi, and from the bottom of my heart, I want to welcome all of you beautiful people from different parts of the world. And it's an immense pleasure to be hosting this event. And with all that being said, without any further ado, I would like to start all of us off with the first mentor and speaker who is already present with us. So our first mentor and speaker is Mr. Edward PROBIR MONDAL. Now, a little bit, I'm going to speak about Mr. Edward. Mr. Edward is a certified business and leadership coach, a principal and chief learning evangelist, Global Academy of Holistic Leadership and Coaching Incorporated, Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. Now, today he is going to deliver the topic, which is the implications of emotional intelligence for fostering innovation and entrepreneurship in achieving sustainable development goals. Now, we are really, really honored to have you with us, Mr. Edward, today, and we are waiting. Please go ahead and start your session.
Can you hear me?
Yes, perfectly.
All right. Can I share my screen, please?
Yes, please go ahead. Okay, Mr. Edward,
Right.
right now.
Yes. Right. So it's my humble opportunity, I would say, with all the dignitaries and eminent speaker, educators, and leaders across the globe Thank you for providing me the opportunity to share my thoughts. I will be sharing with you how we can foster sustainable innovation in education in post-COVID era, including emotional intelligence. So when we talk education, I would first focus on the holistic approach of education, because in education, it is very important. Uh, we need to have a view of 360 degrees approach. So the holistic perspective, actually, as we know, it is very important to understand each individual's intellectuals, emotional, social, physical, artistic, creative, spiritual potentials. Now, when we're talking about this holistic approach, as an educator, we need to engage students in teaching learning process and encouraging personal and collective responsibility. I would say this will be what we are doing is creating the collective intelligence, and which is very important in this age. Now, what the holistic education does, we need to understand. This is before we discuss this area. It instills curiosities and develop better communications and social skill. Now, one of the things that I would share with you is it encourages the learners so that they can make a connections in a subject using their creative skill. And I would say during this digital era or post-pandemic era, this is very important. The how we can make connections with the learners, and it develops psychological, social, emotional growth, make learning natural and engaging. It is very challenging for some, I would say. There are many nations, there are many communities, there are many schools, there are many universities. They're having challenges. There are many educators. They're having challenges, making the learning very natural and engaging. So I would say the education is a noble duty, and through which we transform as an educator. When we talk this holistic approach of education, I already shared with you what is holistic approach. But we need to understand there are many others, but this is just a few. Why we call holistic approach of education. Emotional development is very important for educator, for learner. We need to also have critical thinking skill, and how we develop in digital era is also important to understand, and also conflict resolution skill. Now, you know that when we have physical environment while teaching, there is team building is there, and students or learners, they develop the conflict resolution skill. But during this digital era, or when we are conflict in a digital environment, how you can develop conflict resolution skill, character formation, healthy social skill, manners, hands-on lesson, core academics. So there are many, but we need to understand when we are talking about education, it has to be holistic approach of education. Now, one of those verses from Sanskrit, verses, I think from Gita is, education is the best wealth among all. No one can steal it. No state can snatch it. It cannot be divided among the brothers, and it's not heavy to carry. As one consumes or spends, it increases. As one shares, it expands. As an educator, it is our duty, or is our noble duty, to share the knowledge and transform. Now, philosophy, before we talk about education or understanding the different approaches of education, we also need to understand the philosophy of education. There are many aspects of philosophy of educations. What we need to understand is for when we're in a learning environment, uh, uh, educator, we need to understand the philosophy of education. Also, we need to educate or train the students so that they also can understand the philosophy of education. Without the philosophy of education, uh, the students or learner, it's very difficult for them to understand why they're learning. So we need to ask why we are actually understanding or why we are learning the particular topics or areas. So developing our own educational philosophy is the key part of our journey to becoming an educator or trainer, teacher, mentor. Now, there are many philosophies. I won't go into the details, but as an educator, I would encourage everyone to have the philosophy of educations so that the students and the learner can understand why they're learning. Now here, one of the things that I would like to share with you, which is very important, I will go very briefly with you, is comparison of attribute of educational philosophy. Now here, we can see that there are many categories. There are many categories that there when you're talking about the philosophy of education. Now, when you talk about the philosophies, the philosophical orientation has to be there. Now here, we also see that there is an educational value. Their educational process is educational, the intellectual focus. There is also a subject matter, for example, for its own self-importance, and also the curriculum and the learning, grouping, the educator, the student, social and citizenship. There is a freedom and democracy, excellence versus equality and society. So when we are actually talking the different philosophy of education, we can see that the different the traditional and contemporary approach, how it differs from each other. And when you're talking about, for example, I won't go into that because of time. When you say, for example, for freedom and democracy, we can see the comparison here where the conformity, compliance with authority, knowledge and discipline, where we can see the creativeness, self-actualization and direct experience. On the other side, you can see the citizenship, the example here, cognitive personal development, and we can see the personal and social development. As I said, as an educator, it is our noble duty to transform the students. So when the students has the freedom, choice, they can develop. I'll go to the next one, which is called sustainable innovation in education, which is very important. When we're talking about sustainable innovation in education, I would say it's a holistic approach. So that means we are involving all the stakeholders. When you're talking about the involving all the stakeholders, then we can call it the sustainable innovation. We can implement the sustainable innovation in education. Now, there is a grassroots innovation. There is an extension services. There is a traditional knowledge. There is a knowledge that provided by the research institutes. There is NGO, non-government organizations, and there is also knowledge also created or developed or provided by the universities and knowledge provided by the industry. So in some areas or some part of the world I visited, I see that sometimes we are more academic and it is not part of the or it is not connected with the industry. There are some of the curriculums are not up to date. So there are some areas which is not relevant to the industry. Students get their degrees or certificates, but they cannot implement or they are not getting industry relevant or industry focused education. So it is very important when we are talking about sustainable innovation in education, there should be industry and academia should get together and then they develop this curriculum or they provide this education. So it's very important to have the holistic view of education. Now, this is kind of an industry perspective, but if you think about it in academic perspective, it's called the 5 Ws of sustainable innovation. The questions, for example, is for whom? Does the services have net impact on well-being of all the, I would say, learners or key stakeholders? You say yes or no. And when you say what we are doing, so does it all types of use all types of capital responsibly, which is important. And then when does it create intergenerational value? And where does it make cities or our communities more resilient? And finally, it's all why does it improve dysfunctional system? For example, it's for education. So when we are actually using these 5 Ws of sustainable innovations and ask yourself, you can develop your own sustainable innovation strategy for your school, for your area, or for your community. So it is very important to develop the sustainable innovation strategy. Now, there are many examples of sustainable innovation. I was researching. There are many world innovations. So there's like, for example, when you're talking about the industry example, there's a paper, one of the companies is a fully recycled paper based on forest certifications. Now, think about situations where education are related. When you talking about sustainable innovations, there are many products or services are related to education. So like, for example, paper, we use paper as a like a education like service provider. So paper is one of the company, right? There's this side, and then they use the fully recycled paper based on forest certification. This is an example. There is a Satino Black. They use that CO2 neutral toilet papers we use in educational institute. There is a sustainable playground. It's developing, energizing playgrounds for children. The wheel is another example. The energy saving direct drive in wheel motor system for vehicle. Like um, many schools, they use the school buses. How you can use the sustainable or the energy saving direct drive in wheel motor system for vehicle. Japan, the open news calendar and 3D printing Ultimaker, 3D printing for plastic objects. There are many educational toys or tools are used in education. How you can use technology and sustainable innovations in education. These are the examples. There are many, thousands of examples. Now, according to your community, according to your resources, according to your ability, you can also develop like sustainable innovations for your school, for your communities. Now, I would speak few areas where it is very important to understand. One is called design thinking. Design thinking is very important to understand how we can implement or do the sustainable innovation, a framework for innovation. Now, one of the first thing that it says is empathize. What is the problem? Define the challenge and explore the human context. And then the context is there, and then we define why it is important. Research, observe, understand, and create point of view. And then we test. We implement the product. We prep services, shows, and don't tell. Start to refine the product. And then ideate. How do you solve it? Brainstorm the idea is good. And then we form. And then we create a prototype. Creating experiment, fail, or cheap or fast. So this is an example of design thinking. Now, why we are studying design thinking mostly, right, some of the areas like manufacturing sectors, many areas they use the design thinking approach, but we also can, as an educator in our setting, we can have the design thinking approach, so that we can transform the whole system. Now, this is a design thinking in education. When we're talking about the design thinking education, so this design thinking is a process, is an approach, is a process. And when we use the design thinking, that's means we discover, interpret, ideate, prototype, and test. So finally, we get the result. And then we need to take an action. How do you implement this design thinking? We need to take an activities or actions. As an educator or as an educational institution, we should have a prototype, and then we yes, we should take an action. When we take an action, we see the results, and we can involve the students, we can involve the learner, and we can collaborate. So this is a very briefly, I'll share with you why we need actually design thinking education. Now, one of the other things that I would like to share with you, design for behavioral change is very important. Now, when we're talking about sustainable innovations, one of the things very important to understand that how we can have sustainable innovation in education. One of the approach can be for design for behavioral changes, and it is a driver for sustainable innovation. There are a lot of challenges we can see. When we're talking about the theoretical perspective, that means we need to have that mindset or mindful design. And then there is also like socially responsible design, the practice-oriented project design, design for healthy behavior, modes of transition, behavioral grid. And when we're talking about this, like the next part of it is mind space product impact tool, design with intent, dimension of behavioral changes. Ultimately, what is happening here, we are using this toolkit to have this behavioral change. And behavioral change is very important for transformation or education. As an educator, it is very important to understand the process. We need to have this scientific approach or the process so that we can transform the students. We need to use toolkits, different toolkits, which is relevant, which is useful, which is uh, which is needed for this era, post-COVID era. Now, when you're talking about, I also need to share with you one of the implications of artificial intelligence in education, right? Redefinition. The stack allows the creation of new tasks previously inconceivable. There is modifications that tech allows to significant task redesign and augmentation. The tech acts as a direct tool of substitute with functional improvement. And the substitution, the tech assets are direct tools for substitute with no functional change. So we can see there are many tools available, and we are using this artificial intelligence for what? Why are you using artificial intelligence? The reason that we are using artificial intelligence is so that we can make changes. We can it has to be effective, it has to be efficient, and we have to connect. This more important thing has to be two-way communication. We have to transform, we have to engage the students. So this is the implications of artificial intelligence in education. When you're tipping this is an example when we're using different in educational environment, this typical ITVs like the learner model, the pedagogy models, domain model, then they can see this adaptive learning activities, the data captures, data analysis, open learners model, and we also get feedback in between. So you can see this environment when we are talking about these architectures or design or using the artificial intelligence. What is happening here? It is learning is very flexible, very open, and the learners can learn in a very dynamic way, not the traditional or like a rigid, right approach. So this is very important to provide the education so that we can transform the student. Now, here these are the like I would say like as an educator, you also can be an entrepreneur. So there are many skills that need to be developed. Like you need to have problem solving skill, creativity, persuasiveness, like planning, negotiating, and decision making. There are a lot of attributes need to be there. Self-confident, autonomous, achievement-oriented, versatile, dynamic, and resourceful. So we can see that ultimately what is happening when you're using this entrepreneurship approach. We can see this like there is intention productivity, there is innovation, there is change. So this is very important as an educator or as an education institution. Like we should have this scientific approach. Now, one of the other things that I'm specialized in or certified is emotional intelligence. I provide organization with this emotional intelligence training. So emotional intelligence is very relevant and in this digital era, right? For individuals, like for educator and even for the learners. And is the ability to understand, use, and manage your own emotions to positive way to relieve stress, communicate effectively, and empathize with others, overcome challenges, and diffuse conflict. We were discussing emotional intelligence. This is one of the tools that can understand that our own challenges, our pitfalls, are right, how we can actually filling up the gaps so that we can transform, we can change, we can be a change agent. So it's very important. Now, if you one of those verses in Bhagavad Gita is this analytical sloka from Bhagavad Gita is it one of the verses here said Yamhina Vata. I'm sorry if I'm mistaken. So in Sanskrit, what it means is it means a person who is calm and remains unperverted by either pain or pleasure is the one who attains immortality. So that means you need to be very, as I said, one of the skill that I already shared with you is a conflict resolution skill. When you have this emotional intelligence states, that means you are calm, you're quiet, and you are in a state where you are providing uh, educations or providing services without any disturbance. So it's very important to have this emotional intelligence, that state, which is very relevant or very important uh, for the change agent. Now here, these are of the entrepreneurial behavior, but one of the things that I would like to share with you, you have to have a very good intentions, which is actually uh, very important. Understanding about what you are doing and experiencing the process and exploiting the opportunity. Ultimately, what we're doing is in taking an action. As an educator, I would say what we're using the entrepreneurial behavior, the techniques. So finally, we are taking an action, which, and ultimately, when you're taking actions, we are testing and we can be a changes and good changes. Now, in emotional intelligence, there are 5 areas. One is called self-awareness. The self-awareness, that means know your limitations and your what challenges are there. And then you can say self-regulation after that. Then how do you manage this one? So it's very important to have the self-regulations. We need to have the empathetic view. We need to develop the social skill and then motivation. So this is what the emotional intelligence is. Like when you're talking about these EI, the emotional intelligence, these are the actually the intrapersonal and interpersonal. So for intrapersonal, we can see that here, like for emotion, that there is a self-awareness, the self-management, and the self-performance. On the other side, when you call interpersonal, when we are actually meeting with other people, there is social awareness, relationship management, and people performance. As an educator, you always connect with people, connect with students, connect with other educators, connect with the administrations, connect with the policymakers, other stakeholders. So emotional intelligence is very important. We are having a lot of challenges, but despite of these challenges, how we can act responsibly, not show our angers, our frustrations. We need to be professional. Professionalism is very important in the field of education. So using emotional intelligence is very important. With that, I would like to thank you, everyone, those who listen to my presentations. But my humble request to all of you, just take the education seriously. As education, we need to have the education as a holistic approach of education. And it is a challenge for us now during this post-COVID era to provide the services with the proper approach. With that, thank you very much. Thank you, everyone.
So thank you so much, Mr. Edward MONDAL. So that was our first mentor and speaker, Mr. Edward MONDAL. And now I'm hoping that all of us, that was a very, very good start. And I agree that I'm hoping that all of you agree with me. So that was an amazing start. So thank you so much for being with us today, Mr. Edward. Now I would like to also turn to the audience, and I'm wondering right now whether any of you want to ask anything. So we are getting really good, insights from you guys. Thank you so much. So Mr. Daniel has, put a query in the question answer section. I hope we'll have the benefit to access the speaker's notes. So I'm not really getting what exactly you are asking, whether you're asking about the PPT. So yes. So let's move ahead with that note. And also I would request all of the attendees, if you want to ask anything, just go ahead and type your question in the question answer section, and we'll forward your question to our mentors and educators today. Now with that, after thanking our first mentor and speaker, I want to move ahead. And by moving ahead, I want to thank our next mentor and speaker, who is also our chief guest. Now, our chief guest is this beautiful lady, Dr. RANIA LAMPOU. Now, Dr. RANIA LAMPOU is our next speaker, also the chief guest, as I said. She is the global educator at STEM and a STEM educator, Greek Ministry of Education and Religious Affairs, Directorate of Educational Technology and Innovation, Greece. Now, she is today going to deliver the topic of nurturing entrepreneurial and innovation ecosystem for the SDGs. Now, we are really honored to have you today with us, and we waited for your session. Please go ahead and enlighten us today.
Good evening from Greece to all of you. It's a great honor and pleasure to be present today at this prestigious International Innovative Future Education Summit and Awards 2021. I warmly thank you for this kind invitation. Last time I have presented how important it is to integrate entrepreneurship in the educational ecosystem. And today I will present the entrepreneurial ecosystem. So I will give an overview of recent developments in entrepreneurship, as well as best practices and measures taken to support entrepreneurship at all levels, national and international, in response to the challenges posed by the COVID pandemic. I will also explore the role of inclusive, green, digital, and circular entrepreneurship in the post-COVID context. And of course, with regard to the implementation of 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. So, can I share my presentation?
You're presenting right now.
Can you see my presentation?
Yes, affirmative.
So as I said before, I'm a global educator, but also recently I was elected among the top women entrepreneurs featuring Fortune. So my approach today will be from a point of view entrepreneurial. So, and it takes a village to raise a child, and it takes an ecosystem to scale innovation. The innovation ecosystem is defined as the network of institutions in the public and private sectors whose activities and interactions initiates, import, modify, and diffuse new technologies. Nurturing and scaling innovation requires the support of robust innovation ecosystems. The influence of national education system, industrial relations, technical and scientific institutions, government policies, cultural traditions, private sector institutions, many other national institutions is fundamental to harness youth-led innovation. And as the global economy is going through a turbulent and formative period, the role of entrepreneurship in inclusive and sustainable development, as enshrined in the 2030 Agenda, has become even stronger. In its resolution, Entrepreneurship for Sustainable Development, the General Assembly of the United Nations recognized the important contribution that entrepreneurship makes to sustainable development by creating jobs, by driving economic growth and innovation, improving social conditions, and addressing social and environmental challenges in the context of 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. So there is a need for a comprehensive and holistic approach to entrepreneurship that includes long-term and cross-sectoral policies and strategies, which are stressed in the resolution. And this, of course, remains highly relevant in guiding policy response and recovery measures to address the impact of the COVID pandemic on the development of entrepreneurship also. So the world development challenges can also represent business opportunities for social innovation. Entrepreneurship can be an important driver, enabler, and empowering tool for sustainable development, especially social entrepreneurship. Social entrepreneurs aim to explore market opportunities and to create innovative, sustainable solutions for economic, social, environmental challenges. Therefore, they are seen as problem solvers in the areas covered by the Sustainable Development Goals. And micro, small, and medium-sized enterprises constitute the backbone of the global economy, accounting for over 2/3 of employment globally and 80–90% of employment in low-income countries. Owing to the extreme losses that are affecting every nation and every sector of industry, there are many people without jobs who are looking and will continue to look for entrepreneurship opportunities. And at the same time, the motivations of entrepreneurs and medium and small sized enterprises can be leveraged to tackle the world's problem while helping to implement the Sustainable Development Goals, especially in underperforming sectors and in social recovery. The role of entrepreneurship in social and economic development has become more critical than ever and will be among the priority policy measures of member states during the COVID recovery and beyond. And also, entrepreneurship has globally remained an amazing form of employment and livelihood. However, during the COVID pandemic, this crisis has slowed down entry into entrepreneurship, with business applications down by 40% in some countries. So, a summary of surveys demonstrates that more than half of enterprises have suffered from severe revenue losses, and 1/3 fear that they will be out of business within a month. The advancing COVID pandemic has caused a steep global economic pullback without modern parallel. And according to the National Labor Organization, between 5 and 25 million jobs will be lost, and there will be a drop in labor income. Later, over 70 million people are expected to fall back into extreme poverty. So what are the progress? What is now all this new landscape? First of all, while progress has been made in recent years towards promoting entrepreneurship policy and strengthening the competitiveness of enterprises, this COVID, as I said before, has not only caused a significant adverse impact on this process, but also exposed and deepened pre-crisis fragilities in the entrepreneurship ecosystem. However, this crisis also provides an unprecedented opportunity to engage with a better and more efficient set of policies and measures to promote entrepreneurship with a view to building an entrepreneurship environment that would lead to a resilient, green, and inclusive system that encompasses vulnerable groups. When the pandemic was declared, governments first responded with short-term policies, including tax reliefs or extensions of loan guarantees, direct grants, and subsidized to enterprises. For a long-term now strategy, governments are also increasingly implementing structural policies to support these enterprises in adopting digital technologies and expanding their market reach. Coherent and holistic policy measures and initiatives to support and sustain entrepreneurship, including in post-pandemic scenarios and alignment with the cross-cutting nature of entrepreneurship, span several interrelated areas, including regulatory reforms, improved access to finance and markets, facilitated technology exchange and innovation, enhanced development of human capital, increased awareness of entrepreneurial opportunities, and creation of support network. We all know that gender gaps also have remained wide in the majority of countries, and this crisis has had a particular negative effect on women and young entrepreneurs, given their overrepresentation in sectors particularly affected by lockdowns and other systemic issues, including informality and the lack of access to finance. And in response to all these challenges, the United Nations launched a project which is called Global Initiative Towards Post-COVID Resurgence of medium and small medium enterprise sector to assist the governments and entrepreneurship institutions working to support entrepreneurship through targeted advisory and capacity building services. And the framework of this project, a series of online tools have been developed to promote entrepreneurship and facilitate their resurgence. Formulated national strategies. In the past years, the United Nations Conference on Trade and Development has continued to support member states in their efforts to design, formulate, and implement national strategies based on the entrepreneurship policy framework. And since 2018, many member states have adopted comprehensive entrepreneurship policies following an integrated approach, building on linkages between regulations, education, technology, innovation, finance, market access. So ahead of the COVID pandemic, these policy measures laid the groundwork in harnessing entrepreneurship potential. For instance, the National Entrepreneurship Innovation Law was approved in Ecuador to enable their ecosystem for innovation. In Malaysia has launched the National Policy 2030 to develop an inclusive and competitive entrepreneurial ecosystem that is outward oriented and is also investing in entrepreneurs from vulnerable backgrounds. Ghana also has introduced this innovation program to provide integrated national support for startups and small businesses based on an incubation and acceleration program. Enhancing entrepreneurship education skills development, as previous speakers have mentioned, entrepreneurial skills, both soft and hard, are strong predictors of entry into entrepreneurship, irrespective of level of education, especially in developing countries. Effective entrepreneurship education policies and programs are very, very important and needed in formal and informal education to help prospective entrepreneurs to accumulate skills and competencies throughout life. And this is particularly critical during the fourth industrial revolution, in which innovative entrepreneurs play a key role in creating and using frontier technologies for sustainable development. And since 2018, member states have continued to embed entrepreneurship in their education systems, particularly at the secondary level, developing requisite curricula and training teachers with novel pedagogies. And in the period 2017-2020, Egypt and Madagascar had introduced entrepreneurship curricula and technical education at the secondary level. So training in entrepreneurship skills has increasingly targeted people from vulnerable groups, including women, young people, migrants, and refugees. Very important facilitating technology change and innovation, especially during this COVID pandemic. This crisis has highlighted the importance of accelerating the adoption of digital technologies by entrepreneurs, not only to strengthen the resilience, but also to find solutions to stop the outbreak. Innovative entrepreneurship, however, remained remarkably low in the pre-COVID period, with less than 5% of entrepreneurs having introduced new products or services, and even fewer having used the latest technologies or procedures in their new businesses in 2019. So some member states have introduced innovative policies to provide support. We have seen also China, the example also of Malaysia, for instance, hackathons. In response to the COVID pandemic, hackathons have been organized, for instance, in Finland, Latvia, and Poland to innovate novel solutions. And of course, access to finance is one of the top constraints for entrepreneurs, especially women and young people. The severe consequences of the COVID pandemic on entrepreneurs have prompted member states to quickly provide financial support through credit guarantee schemes, grants, debt memorandums, etc. And also, it's important to improve access to markets. A majority of entrepreneurs do not participate in international trade and have difficulty reaching national markets. And also, awareness raising networking, important programs that target startups are increasingly setting up online platforms that raise awareness, that foster networking among peers, and improve access to relevant and up-to-date information for entrepreneurs. For instance, in India, the Startup India program has connected over 75,000 startups, 500 mentors, accelerators, etc. It has become an online platform and one-stop shop for startups in India. We have also the Global Entrepreneurship Week, a global campaign to raise awareness and promote entrepreneurship initiative. And this concerned actually to raise awareness of positive stories of migrant and refugee entrepreneurs who are making an economic contribution to their host countries. Inclusivity, very, very important. Vulnerable groups have been the hardest hit by the COVID pandemic because over 1.5 billion workers in the informal economy have been severely affected by lockdowns, experiencing an 80% decrease in earnings in Africa and Latin America. Youth employment rates have soared. Migrant refugee workers have also been particularly hit. So social entrepreneurship plays an important role in promoting inclusive growth and sustainable development. The work of social innovators, which includes providing education technologies and e-health services for the most vulnerable developing community tracing initiatives, has been critical during this crisis. And also, member states have also advanced in developing national inclusive business strategies. Very important also, synergies that are increasingly harnessed between social entrepreneurship and inclusive sustainable development. And green entrepreneurship initiatives are also in place to sensitize entrepreneurship towards innovative, green, resilient, circular, and inclusive solutions. So, for instance, Indonesia in 2020 has announced that it will cut its marine plastic waste by 70% within 5 years and become plastic pollution-free by 2040. And in other countries also, Morocco has implemented its youth employability strategy green, aimed at teaching valuable youth skills for the green economy, including in the areas of renewable energy, ecotourism, and integrated water management. And also other countries follow the same example. So when you hear the word entrepreneurship, you're thinking about finance only, but this is not the issue today. Nowadays, we talk about the comprehensive approach of a corporate performance. That means that often when you talk about company performance, you think about profit or loss, and this analysis does not provide usually comprehensive information on the overall performance. It only provides an image of the financial performance because users can know how it was obtained this result. So company's performance does not refer only to higher accounting results or to profitability, stable financial balance, etc. But it should cover all aspects of non-financial and financial aspects of its business. So this concept of performance has evolved to a comprehensive approach, including financial aspect and non-financial aspect, which are primarily concerned with elements of social responsibility. So to improve the performance, the entities are turning to certain activities that meet social and environmental safety and reliability requirements, what we call environmental and social performance. So short-term programs may include aspects of risk management, for example, implementation of new control standards, business integrity management. And the long-term programs aim at improving the risk management and quality performance. The environmental aspect of the performance of a company refers to the impact, of course, on natural systems, including ecosystems, soil and water. It's particularly important to provide information on the environmental performance. And so we have another term which is very important, corporate social responsibility. It's a concept whereby organizations serve the interests of society by taking responsibility for the impacts of their activities on customers, on employees, on shareholders, communities, and the environment in all aspects of their operations. Socially responsible companies take into account their impact on communities and the environment when they make decisions, when they balance stakeholders' needs with their need to make profits. And also, we have here the non-financial performance reporting tools of a company, because in order to report the non-financial performance, companies present some reports, some types of reports which are very, very interesting. Social balance sheet, environmental balance sheet, non-financial dimension, triple bottom line. So first of all, social balance sheet, the best tool is to give visibility to the questions needs for information, transparency of the target audience, social balance. It's actually a tool to compare the results with existing needs, providing information about the social objectives, provides information also about the goal of the company, to demonstrate that it's not only to make profit, but to provide added value to the community, helps develop democracy and transparency in the company's activities, becomes a reporting tool. Very important if that is related to social actions in terms of visibility and effectiveness. And of course, social factors influence entrepreneurship. Cultural aspects are assumed to shape the environment in which business is conducted. And as I said before, here I have environmental balance sheet, because the main benefits that the company receives from the preparation of such documents consist in monitoring all environmental aspects identified in this situation, analysis of environmental costs and waste, considering investments in technologies with reduced environmental impact, evaluating the level of protection and improving the area where it operates, identifying the critical factors related to the activities and measures taken to improve the environment, building a monitor network that allows to develop environmental management system, and of course, develop effective communication, environmental tools with the local population and public administration. And we have also the triple bottom line, which was put, according to which an organization should not be obliged to submit, as I said before, only financial performance, but also those on its impact on environment and society. And a well-known example is focused on the theory of triple bottom line. This theory underlies a balanced development of the economic entity, have terms of environmental, social, and economic capital. And the major objective of economic entity is not simply profit. Increasingly, more companies become to approach, hopefully, for a sustainable development of their activities. Why? Because if they ignore the social and environmental aspects, large companies risk to lose international market share, to sustain the costs of greening of activity areas, and also the risk to allocate large sums for damage control to regain consumer confidence. So actually, this is a philosophy that guides corporate performance. And also, we have, including all this consumption, which was incepted during the Oslo Symposium in 1994. And this definition is actually what is sustainable consumption: the use of goods and services that respond to basic needs and bring a better quality of life while minimizing the use of natural resources, toxic materials, and emissions of waste and pollutant over the life cycle, so as to not jeopardize the needs of the future generations. This, of course, definition provides a holistic picture of sustainable consumption, which provides the idea that sustainable consumption is not limited to direct consumption. It encompasses the whole consumption pattern of individuals, and it emphasizes on improving quality of life rather than a materialistic outlook. And also, there is one other perspective that concerns individuals. That means that sustainable consumption suggests for practicing wise consumption habit in which individuals need to consider the post-consumption consequences for the present as well as for the future. So it is a socially environmentally concerned way of buying, of using, and disposing goods and services. It advocates for the wise and careful consumption patterns as well as efficient use of goods and services. And it refers to the act of avoiding overindulging in a purchase and careful use of goods and services that satisfy basic needs. And of course, another aspect of this sustainable consumption is that it enhances the quality of life by offering practical approaches to achieve a resource-efficient and low-carbon economy. It minimizes the use of natural resources, toxic materials, and emissions of waste, etc. And of course, this word sustainably refers to something that is as the action of using the resource, but also maintaining, sustaining the resource, goes beyond of the environmental concern by ensuring the manager that its existing resources are not only able to meet the current demand, but also without jeopardizing the need of future generations. And what are some, here you can see what are the components of entrepreneurial ecosystem. All these factors are necessary and their interaction necessary in order to build a healthy ecosystem. Research institutions, government, incubators, accelerators. We don't have time to analyze all that. Startups and prices. And before concluding, I want to say that as the previous speaker said, sustainability is the new concept here all around the world, and it's linked not only to education, but also to entrepreneurship and all other spheres of life. It's obviously an issue, as I said before, of policy, of government policy, but also an issue of individuals, how we adopt healthy habits and how we adopt, as I said before, try to adopt a healthy, sustainable consumption, as I mentioned. Thank you very much for your attention.
Oh, thank you so much, Dr. RANIA LAMPOU. So that was Dr. RANIA LAMPOU. She joined us from the beautiful country of Greece, and also she was our second mentor and speaker, and also the chief guest of today's event. Now, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for sharing all of those insightful points that you shared with us today. And very quickly, I want to also address to the question answer section over here very quickly. So we have an anonymous attendee who has asked a question. She or he wants to know that how we can make education more practical in place of theoretical. So Dr. RANIA, would you like to answer that one?
Mm-hmm. Yes, this, well, I am a STEM instructor, so you can understand that this is the vision that I promote all around the world, that how education can be practical, how we, this period of theory has gone. So I think that everything that is engaging, challenging for students, I mean, hands-on activities, when the children are engaged and they are more active in education, this is the best way to integrate innovation in the education system, but at the same time to build a new learning ecosystem that fosters creativity, collaboration, critical thinking, all the 21st century skills, but also the skills that are needed and all the literacies that are needed in the fourth industrial revolution. Let's not forget this. And let's not forget that we are also at the threshold of the fifth industrial revolution. So we need to know what is that it's important here. Human, of course, technology, artificial intelligence solving this, but we need to pay attention to the human factor, the human dimension. Humans should go along with machines, according to the experts of the fifth industrial revolution. So that means that education should be more learner-centered. And as I said before, what I'm doing is to promote STEM education, especially in primary education, and combine it with arts. That's why we're talking about STEAM, which is the new concept all around the world. And it's something that is, it's not accidental, but it's sponsored, funded by Europe and USA and other countries. This is my opinion. Anything that involves actively the team.
Perfect, perfect. Thank you so much. So we hope that our anonymous attendee got the answer that they required. And furthermore, there is also one question from Mr. Daniel. So you were asking if the paper presented by Dr. Edward would be shared with the participants. So that I think would be the question to Mr. Edward, whether or not he would be sharing the paper that you shared in your particular PPT today.
Yeah, I will be more than happy to share. No problem. I can, I don't know how to share, but I can send it to the team, the organizer team. So I don't know, I can share with you or yeah, no problem. I can email to you. Thank you.
Perfect. So thank you so much. Thank you so much. With that, all of the questions have been answered, and also the last, but not the least, the last question is whether or not we are going to share with you the recorded, session. Definitely, we will. That is the only reason why we record these sort of events, because we have all of these amazing people from all around the world, and this recorded session is definitely going to be something that all of us would want to watch again, and definitely we would be sharing this. Sessions link with you as well. So with that, we have answered all of the questions. And I also want to thank our second mentor and speaker, our chief guest, Dr. RANIA, once again, because she made such insightful points today. Perfect. Now, I think, all of the attendees, respected attendees, our third mentor and speaker is present with us, as all of you can see. Now, without any further ado, I'm going to turn the spotlight to our third mentor and speaker. And now our third mentor and speaker is our special guest today as well. He is Professor Ruben Garcia. Now, Professor Ruben Garcia is joining us from Universidad Peruana de las Americas, joining us from Lima, Peru. Now, Professor Garcia is going to deliver the topic, Motivational Education Asset for Better Outcome. Now, we're really glad to have Professor Garcia with us today. It's the perfect time. Sir, please go ahead and start your session.
Greetings from Peru. Talking about education is great because well-educated people have the power to change the world. And we are here to tell them how they can change the world. Let me share my screen for the presentation of today. Great. All right. Am I audible? Yes?
You're perfectly audible, sir.
Okay, great. Let me, just a minute. Just want to start presenting that. There we go. Right. What you see there are children. Look at their faces. Just look at their faces. How many times have arrived in the classroom and see those faces? How many times you have been in a remote classroom and you have seen your students making those faces? Why do you think they are making those faces? The answer is very simple. They do not feel motivated to be present in that class. Probably they do not know what the outcome will be of the classroom. What we need to talk, what we need to make clear in education is motivation. It's important. So I'm here today to share something about this motivational education assets for better outcomes. The outcomes are the ones that we all professors, educators, teachers expect. And that is one word, learning. But how can we do this? How can we get those assets? We can say that motivation increases the initiation and persistence of activities. We are talking about the initiation and persistence of activities. Since the very beginning, we need to persuade our students to feel motivated to be with us, to feel motivated to stay with us, to learn something. In these remote classes, this is harder because we need to persuade our students to turn on their cameras instead of forcing them to do it. We need to invite them to be with us during that time that the classes take. We need to work on their feelings. We need to work on their emotions, because motivation is part of an emotion. This slide will show you that a growth mindset drives motivation and achievement by Blackwell Sitchinsky in 2007. In a research about child development, a growth mindset. When you say, I can get smarter, how many times you tell your students that they are smart, but they can even be smarter? They can get smarter by learning something that you are going to give them, that you are going to share with them. Remember that the students can get the knowledge from the internet. In this globalization, the information is right there in a click. How can we tell them, or how can we show them to use that information so they can get smarter? Learning is my goal. Yes, that is important. Why? They are in the class with us, with the educators, because of this goal. We have to make them feel that they can achieve that goal by being with us. in the class. No matter if after this lockdown, we return to our physical classrooms. The goal is the same, learning. And the effort, yes, sometimes it's not that easy. We need to make effort. And we say that the effort makes us stronger. Because we remember more the things that we have achieved, the things that we have gotten by making more effort. Do you agree with that? Please share in the chat box if you really agree with that. If you make effort to achieve goals, those are the ones that you will remember more than the others that came easily. If you spend more time and work harder, yes, no matter how much time or no matter how long will it take me to achieve that goal, to achieve that objective, if I have to work harder, this is very important. In order to get what? A higher achievement. A higher achievement. Persuade your students with the idea that they can go in advance. They can get one goal and another. And to get different goals, they are not going to make the same effort. They can make more effort in some goals than others. So we are prepared for this higher achievement. If we analyze the benefits of education, what are the benefits of education? We need to talk about the benefits because benefits are good. All what we call benefits is good. The first, the more you learn, the more you earn. Do you agree with that? The more educated, qualified, and skilled you are, the higher your earning ability. We need to make them understand the benefits of education. If we take a look at number 2, it says that more education means greater opportunities to achieve success in your career, opening the doors for promotions and partnerships. We have always heard that the education gives us opportunities. Education opens the doors to us. The third one we can mention here of the benefits of education is this: education builds self-esteem. It gives you an invaluable personal asset that can never be lost or taken away. Again, it gives you an invaluable personal asset that can never be lost or taken away. Is gold in mind. Education is gold in our minds. And we can also mention that self-improvement, the more knowledge you have, the better you will understand any challenge or opportunity you encounter, and the more confidently you can make decisions. Making decisions, this is an ability that we need to improve, because all we have, the decision-making ability. We all human beings have decision-making ability, but we need to brush up that ability, to enhance that ability in order to get good results and to be good at it. And if we continue talking about the importance of education, how the motivational education assets get better results, we have the transformational leadership. In the transformational leadership, we see the vision, because we need to have a purpose to learn. Because if we have a purpose to live, we also need a purpose to learn. And we need individual consideration and intellectual stimulation. What is the intellectual stimulation? How we stimulate our minds in this process of learning. But we need to talk about the school organizational conditions as well in order to get this. The collaboration among teachers, it's important. Participative decision-making trust, very important. The teacher motivation. We were talking at the beginning of this presentation about the motivation on the students. But who gives the motivation? Who has to get the motivation from the students? The teachers, educators, tutors. So they need motivation as well. And we talk about teacher motivation, which is the teacher self-efficacy. Internalization of school goals. Interesting. What do we have by school goals? The school objectives and the tolerance of uncertainty also. And the important thing, well-being. To get professional learning activities. What are the professional learning activities that I'm here and telling you? In reading and experimenting and reflection. Reading is important. And we need to persuade our students that this is an important practice, reading, to get good information. And we need to tell them what the techniques are to have a good reading practice. Oh, we are talking about practices. So let's mention the teaching practices. Process-oriented instruction, relatedness to students' world, cooperative learning differentiation. Cooperative learning differentiation. Yes. When we talk about differentiation, it's because all the things are not the same. We need to work on different types of things. We need education management, control. Let me share with you what we have in this education management. And we are talking about evaluation techniques. We talk about the formative assessment and summative assessment. Evaluation is important. Instructional setting. Instructions. How we give instructions, how we work on instructions to address our students. Communication skill. Yes, this is very important because what we do, what educators do with the students is communication. We communicate and they communicate with us. It is very, very important. The self-regulation management as well. Self-regulation management. Very important as teamwork. Nowadays, we know how important teamwork is, not only in the classrooms, but also in business. In big enterprises, they work on teamwork. And we need to tell our students that this really works and it's good asset in education. Time management. We need time management as we are here sharing this kind of information. We have a time limit to share our points of view. And it's a good practice to have a good track of the time. The motivation, thoroughly important, and the extracurricular activity. Not everything that they have in the books, but extracurricular is very important. But extracurricular activities that are related, not directly, but indirectly, to our classes itself. Then, let me share with you now the physical learning environment. What is the physical learning environment that we need? Self-direction. Self-direction. We need to be autonomous in learning as well. Continuous feedback. So important to give this feedback. Remember that the feedback is always positive. You highlight the strong things or just the positive things of your students about the projects that you have given them to develop. So students' motivation again. So you see how important motivation is? How many times we have mentioned this word in this presentation? Access to digital tools. Technology is nowadays more common than before. Everything is part of technology. Thanks to technology, I am here presenting from Lima, Peru in South America. The social emotional engagement as well. Social emotional engagement. Since we are part of a society, we need to develop this engagement. We need to work on interpersonal skills. Teachers who love teaching teach children to love learning. Again, teachers who love teaching teach children to love learning. Do you agree with that? Please, I want to see your answers. Good interaction today, you and me. Yes, I see. You agree with this. I want to finish with this important quote by Brian Tracy. Brian Tracy told us that we need to commit ourselves. And he tells us, commit yourself to lifelong learning. The most valuable asset you'll ever have is your mind and what you put into it. Your mind and what you put into it. We have to be very alert on the things we give our students as part of the classes in order then to feel motivated. We need to enhance their interest by doing different kinds of activities to different kinds of people, to different kinds of children, because we know that they have different styles of learning. I just want to close by telling you thanks for your kind attention. And I hope that we will continue working together to think over this important topic, which is always open for discussion. Motivational education assets for better outcomes. Thank you very much. Greetings from Peru. Back to you, dear moderator.
Thank you so much. So Professor Ruben Garcia, that was an amazing presentation. So that was our third mentor and speaker, Professor Ruben Garcia, joined us from Lima, Peru. Without any further ado, we are definitely, as everybody can see, running a little bit short on time, but we also need to take the questions that are in the question answer section. So Mr. Daniel has asked a question to respected Professor Ruben. The question is, if education provides learners with opportunities, when are they to begin, explore, and exploit these opportunities while they are in school or out of school?
When we talk about opportunities, we are talking about all-time opportunities. And those opportunities have to be taken during school and after school, all time.
Definitely, couldn't agree more. So let's hope that let's hope that you got your required answer from our respected mentor and speaker. So further ahead. Okay, so the question is second question is for Mr. Ruben as well. So the question is from Dr. Pavani. So the question is, dear Edward, sir, is an inclusive setup school. How can we train or motivate our facilitators who hold normal children? That's a question from Dr. Pavani.
Facilitators, the name facilitator is very simple. You are the ones, we are the ones who facilitate the skills to be out, to be seen, and to be improved. So that is what we have, because we have the minds that we are in charge of giving the right message, the message in communication, translated into knowledge. How we put that knowledge into our minds that we are in charge of motivating them to be open to get the information. And it depends on how you convert the information in something interesting for the acquisition.
Perfect, perfect. Couldn't agree more. So here's a hope that Dr. Pavani is now satisfied with the answer as well. So with that, we want to thank once again Professor Ruben Garcia for joining with us today. Thank you so much for sharing all of that wisdom with us today. Also, we are running a little bit out of time, and now we are going to start our panel discussion as well. Now, to start the panel discussion off, we are going to start all of the, I'm going to very quickly introduce all of our, panelists that are going to be a part of this panel discussion. So before doing that, I would like to, announce the topic of the panel discussion. As all of you must be aware, the topic of the panel discussion is Innovative Future Education. Now, to discuss this particular topic, we have really amazing, mentors and speakers from all around the world, and I'm going to very quickly introduce these mentors and speakers. Now, our first mentor and speaker is Dr. DRAGAN JOVANOV, Faculty of Agriculture, Science, Food, MKD, Academy, researcher, scientist, humanist, and joining us from Macedonia. Now, our mentor and speaker is Professor Nadia Ratkovic, Faculty of Economics, Business, Tourism, joining us from Croatia. Our third mentor and speaker is Professor Shahryar Pervez, CEO and founder, Independent Perception and Research Hub, IPRH, Bangladesh. Our fourth mentor and speaker is Mr. Jairo Nicolas Tarasina. I hope I pronounced the names, all of the names correctly. With due respect, Mr. Jairo is the educator at National High School, joining us from Philippines. Now, we are really honored to have all of these amazing people with us today. And as I have said in the beginning, the topic of this panel discussion is Innovative Future Education. Now, how we are going to do, carry out this panel discussion is we are going to turn to each of our panelists, and we are going to take the thoughts of each of the panelists, what they think about the particular topic, what they would like to add from their side. And we're going to build on that knowledge and further, carry ahead the panel discussion. So let's just start this panel discussion with Dr. DRAGAN. Dr. DRAGAN, so I see you there, see it's beautiful weather over there. So we hope you're doing well. So we welcome you in the panel discussion. So how would you like to start off this particular topic? What, according to you, is innovative future education?
Hello, everyone. Good day to everyone. I'm Dr. DRAGAN JOVANOV from Macedonia. Thank you for the honor of being part of this excellent event today. Innovative future education shall be consist of the first teaching socialization students to respect, take care of their health, and respect different opinions, to good deeds and be innovative. Get the most out of them. Innovative education should be applied with good practice, with good practical examples to be the focus. The COVID crisis will not last forever, but we must be careful not to mutilate a generation with this way of learning, to work practically in smaller group in order to have quality in everything that is taught and is everything that is learned. I am for practical education and very little general learning on the topics. Since I am at work to COVID laboratory biotech, and I wanted to respect you and give my opinion briefly. Thank you, be careful, and do good deeds. Only this way this great world will survive. Be you change and your students. Thank you. Greetings from Macedonia.
Okay, thank you so much. So let's move ahead to Professor Nadia. Professor Nada, pardon me. Professor Nada, what would you like to add from your side?
Good evening. Greetings from Croatia. I was listening the speakers from Professor RANIA. What would I said? I'm also like Professor RANIA, big STEMawat. So what will I say about the innovation and about the future? Definitely, we are living in the fourth industrial revolution. And what it means that the concept is today places. I can say that the future is the future of AE and the future is of big machines. What it means? I can say this in many ways. We can imagine thinking at our students among the topics that are discussed here. I like the speech from Professor Ruben. He really explained us in the practice what we must do. And I will tell that we must discuss about the automation on that artificial intelligence, and it has a big impact on our society. There are two scenarios. For me, there are two scenarios. The new era, the new age, the new shift is the type where people must work education is like industrialization. Education bring massive declines in increasing the jobs, automation, and the similar effects. What did it have on us? We know that we all in this era of pandemic were using many digital tools that we really educated ourselves, we educated our students, and also we make a big new step. And we make a big new step with getting new skills, and that skills are really needed for that high end technology. And for problem solving. But if I really make many researches about this topic, and will these machines really took us? Did education need us in the future? And did education system turn and did it must be, I can say it must be adapted to a new reality by ensuring our students that new knowledge and that new skills to help them to make this period, this era easier to them. Another scenario for me is that our economy will just need less work. What it means for education. It means that today we have many jobs, we have many professors, we have many teachers, but we also have many massive open courses that replaces, we can say that in one course we can replace three teachers, 3 professors. So is it really good? Is this new era, new teaching, new artificial intelligence, blockchains, high-end technology really good for our education? And our education system will need to help today. We will need to help every student to get the inspiration and to find the passion that they could navigate this really hard, unstructured world ahead. That I want to say. So let's see other panelists, and then we will have questions. I have another opinion about what is the future of innovation in education. Thank you.
Perfect. So now, I'm really curious what other attendees would like to add from their side. So let's move to Professor Shariar. Sir, what would you like to add from your side on what has already been done?
Thank you. Am I audible?
Yes, you're perfectly audible.
Okay, thank you so much, Samira. Sumaira, so far your name is, yes, you are doing a good work, very good work. So doing very smoothly running this program. And I also thank to our honorable chief guest, RANIA, Educator RANIA LAMPOU, and also Dr. Ruben and Mr. PROBIR MONDAL from Canada. So I know that actually I have very less time, but may I able to show one slide, please? If it is possible, then I want to show a very much little slide. If you give
Yeah,
me the
definitely you
permission.
can. Definitely.
Okay, okay, thank you.
Please go
Thank
ahead.
you.
Yep.
Okay. So this is the uh, webinar or conference or the summit about the international innovation future education. So the time is very well, but my first point is here that Sir Dr. APG Abdul Kalam said that teaching is a noble profession. So if you want to shape up your character, then your ability and also the future of individual, teaching is the ability of teacher to impart the knowledge, skill, and their experience to their discipline. Now the point is here that what type of teacher actually you are. So in the picture, actually, you observe that there are different types of teacher here because at first, without the psychological behavior of changing the teacher, it's not possible to gain the educational sector. That how can we achieve the motivational factor from the student? And Dr. Rubin already said that yes, these are the picture of the students when you go your class. So when you take the class. So at first there are some knowledge. So as a teacher, you must have some knowledge. You have some teaching techniques. Then also you have some assessment techniques. And also you have some professionalism, become a teacher, and also good behavior, and also there are some tasks specifically because our time is limited, so I will not discuss this thing thoroughly, but the point is here the teaching method, that how can you teach your student, that you understand the stimulus, the response, and the reinforcement. Now also in the teaching method you also understand the sensomotor stage, also the formal operational stage, also the preparational stage, because you are dealing with the soft mind. If you are not able to build up your children or your student, because I always say that my student is my children, because if I say that yes they are my children, then I will behave in this way, otherwise not. So these are the teaching method in a modern science, that you understand the mind of the students. Now come to the point that today we are talking about the education. So at first, as a teacher, you understand the level of the education, that which type of education level you maintain. You are the primary level or secondary level or the tertiary level. So when you set up the mind that yes, I survived in the primary level, then your emotional sector or your psychological behavior must be changed from the tertiary level. So these are the 6 level in the education. So far, we see that in the 6, there are the PhD degree. Now the point is here, the Professor Bloom's actually shows us the 3 domains. There is cognitive, there is affective, there is psychomotor. So in the cognitive stage, you understand the knowledge skill, and affection, it is very much important for us to touch the heart of the student. And on the psychomotor, yes, you understand the skill factor, like the physical skill, the how we do this thing. Now, point is come here that in these three domains, in the cognitive domain, you have the remember, you have the understand, you have the apply, analyze, evaluate, and create. And in affective, you have the receiving, the response, valuing, and also characterization. In the psychomotor, you have the imitation, and also you understand how to build up something. So these are the techniques. Now come to the point that the vision for the future education in 2030, there is organization for economic cooperation and development. They view the essential learner qualities, acquisition to the complex challenges and development and the sustainability of the education. And the main point is the quality of life, including the civic engagement, social connection, education, security, life satisfaction, and the environment. Now the point is come that what are the important future education related to this thing? The main point is here, that is, it is related to the STEM education, the digital, the personal, social, learning to learn, and also the citizenship, also the entrepreneurship, and also the cultural awareness. Because now in these days, we are actually based on a cultural awareness society. So according to this thing, we come to the point that they are build up a model, that in this model they are implement that the knowledge, the value, the skill, and the attitude. Actually, these three things actually mix up in the future education. Now we come to the point of UNESCO, the future education of 2050. Under the UNESCO International Institution for Higher Education, and they also launched that the future of higher education project, and where they said this, the future education is related with activity-based or evidence-based education. Also, the Delhi-based UNESCO Mahatma Gandhi Institution of Education actually work for the peace and the sustainable development for the international science and evidence-based education, because these are the future education nowadays. And in the future education, you must need the virtual reality in the education. It is important because the pandemic shows us how we are now involved in online education. And also the artificial intelligence, also Educator PROBIR said, yes, this is the artificial intelligence or artificial emotion is very much important for the learning mechanism. And also we need the cloud computer for education. We need the 3D painting education, also the social media and educational institution, and use the biometric in the school. It is also a part of our future education. So I think that my time is limited, but happy Saturday for all. And thank you for being your attention. And if you want to contact with me, this is my contact. So please feel free to contact with me. Thank you so much.
Okay, perfect. So thank you for sharing that very elaborate presentation with us, Professor Shariar. So lastly, we have Mr. Nicholas Tarasina. So what would you like to add from your side as well? So we would listen to that as well, and then we are also going to take the questions from the section. So please stay with us. So please go ahead.
You hear me? So I have prepared PPT, PowerPoint presentation. But before that, I would like to give some feedback about the speakers. So aside from the holistic approach, I think it's very effective in the learning process. Then how can make a connection from the learners? So how we connect, and then in the own sustainable innovation strategies, design thinking, AI, so or for the change and transform, aside from that, we need to update and upgrade from the traditional way of teaching to um, the teaching from our facing right now. So next, aside from that, we are the power. So the guest speaker said that we have a power to change the world, like innovation, motivation, and then we need to exert some effort for the learners. Okay, so we are the facilitators of inside the classroom. And can you allow me to share my presentation? Okay, so but before that, thank you to the invitation. It's an honor for me, and it's a big opportunity to talk or to speak in front of you. So I will make it shortly because the time is limited. It's about the innovative future education. So, okay. So I will give some insight about the innovation and advanced technology, particular strategies. So I will make it shortly. The learning pyramid, specialized educational techniques, and research about innovation, and best practice or best practices and innovation. So for so I will okay. So for the future education, um, would be the innovation in advanced technology. So with the increased engagement in technology, um, encourage outside the box and innovative thinking. So the educational landscape has altered significantly over the years. So virtual courses and innovative technologies in school and internet access for students and parents are all being used in the classroom. So at all levels to meet this new normal. So innovative methods of teaching, we think of effective teachers we have over the years, so wins the sense of recognition, but those who have touched our humanity, we remember with a deep sense of gratitude. So we think too much about the effective methods of teaching and not enough about effective methods of learning. So they are not students of our generation where they sit down and listen. And I think this have a change now. They want to explore and cut and paste. So like the quotation, education is the manifestation of perfection already in man, according to Swami Vivekananda. So analysis of traditional and method of teaching, like I said a while ago. So the teacher is the sender of source in the pre-technology educations, the information or the message is the educational material. So the information is delivered to the learners. So we are experience the traditional way of teaching, and it has a limitations. Okay, so as you can see here, future education would be, okay, so we have a chart for the beneficials. Educators are embracing the natural relationship that exists between technology and education. So according to a recent national survey, over 81% of teachers believe that employing digital learning tool in the classroom is very beneficial. Furthermore, 57% say that providing instructions, with a large majority believing that they are more effective for engaging students with the school and learning. Moreover, nearly 90% of students who have grown up with technology use and digital tools at the school at least a few times every week. Okay, so my notes before, it's all anchored to my best practices in my school. Okay, so these are the learning pyramid. So I think you are familiar with this. So we have the learning pyramid right here. If you lecture, you get the learners gain only 5%, but lecture with reading it 10%. So for the maximum 90%, it can be teach to his or her classmate. So the gain knowledge for them is 90%. So I will summarize it because my time is limited. So for specialized educational techniques, so the classroom is challenging environment that brings students from all backgrounds, abilities, and personalities together in order to satisfy the student particular requirements. So being a good teacher necessities that use creative. So it might be difficult to know which the teaching approach will work best with your student. So whether you have been teaching for 2 months or 20 years, as a teacher, there is no such things as a one size fits all. So here in the list, so I will give us some point this one. You can use it. This is a technique, so visualization. So by visualizing refers to ability to create pictures, how a student can visualize your lesson. And next, we have cooperative learning. So we need the learners collaborate to his or her classmates. And then we have based in action. So we are the power to give the questions to our learners, and they need to think outside the box. Okay, so next we have differentiations. We know that every learners have difference or differences. So we need to use the different approaches meaning learning for them. Okay, so we are focusing the innovation. It is the technology in the classroom. So innovation infuses classroom with the digital learning tools. So how can we give activity or interactive activity that can encourage them to learn? Okay, so next one, we have behavior management. We need to give them a positive environment inside the classroom. So behavior management. And then professional development, it will be focused on the like attending seminars. Okay, so you need to gain more knowledge. You need to upgrade your skill to update because the generation of the learners is now is 21st century skills. So aside from be creative, you need to be advanced. Okay. Okay. Next. Aside from that, we need, I have an study about the innovation. So I will give you a short insight about. Okay, so factors affecting academic performance of selected grade 9 junior high school student in the distance learning. So we are facing right now the distance learning. Okay, so based on my conclusion, okay, so this is the process that I done. Okay, for the conclusion, so as you can see here, so I will summarize it. So the main factors for the late submission of the modules or the students were delayed in the submitting assignment, it's number one, procrastination. So if the students are having difficulty in their task or daily task, what are your action to give them, whether it's we are facing right now the distance learning. Okay, so and then for my recommendation, okay, so it's all for the schools and the teachers. Okay, so for the schools administrators, it's recommended using the timetable. It is very helpful to the student to provide things to do list to build up the level of interest of the students in terms of answering and submitting their modules on time. especially when it comes to the modular distance learning. They can readily access all the necessary information related to problem. So after that, so I will show you the best practices that I conducted in my school. I hope you can learn some strategies and techniques that you can apply in your teaching. Okay, so home visitation, it is common to orient the parents, okay, for their learners or children. And aside from that, this is it's look like the checklist or the weekly to-do list. So it's very effective. So this is one of the innovation because I called it the project list or learners information self-guide task. Okay, because it is difficult for us to motivate our students. So I came up with this idea, which I connected it would serve as a guide for students, ensuring that they do not, because they will given a daily assignment, which is one of the issues I observe in the research. So procrastination is one of the problem. So after observing how beneficial it was for the student, I decided to use it also to make my day more productive. So this is what I discovered was lacking in the students' use of thereby avoiding cramming and having meaningful learning as well. Okay, so aside from that, project I Am Jai, came from my name. So individual assessment monitoring journey in intervention. Because that's why I came up with this idea, because I noticed that children are ashamed when they receive low grades. So as a result of this innovation, the children or the students will have privacy, even if I post it in our group message, or no one else will know their code except them. So additionally, the grading systems I created is not numerical, even though not star. Okay, it's a star. Because according to the research, children experience a psychological effect when they see a pure zero or fails. So I decided to start showing them grades in a star. So as a result, when they realize they only have 1 star, so they will strive more star. Okay, so next one, it is a program. I am the founder of this program. See, the vision of this program is to enhance the computer literacy rate of the students and enhance the student to carry out computer-oriented projects. So the mission of this one is computer literacy program because Binabisa Quezon shall aim to motivate growing students to participate in computer activities. So I will make it.
Okay, so we hope that, apologies for interruptions. Mr. Tarasina is done speaking. So thank you so much. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it. We love listening from all of you, but we also have to keep the clock in mind as well. We have a lot of questions in the in the comment section. So we are going to make sure that we also take one of these questions as well. So I'm noticing that Professor Ruben Garcia had raised his hand. So sir, please go ahead, unmute your mic and please speak your mind.
Yes, I just want to congratulate the great presentations because these tell us that we are working on education and we are always talking about improvement of education. And every day through our practices, we can get experience and share with our colleagues as we are doing today. Very much impressed and nourished with that kind of information. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. So since this whole program today is dedicated to education, it's dedicated to educators and the ones who receive this education, I couldn't help but notice this really interesting question in the question answer section. So this question by our anonymous attendee is, would you please suggest specific ways or techniques for teachers to motivate themselves, especially when they're experiencing a large amount of stress, both in the academic and in personal life? So this is a question that I couldn't ignore. So this question, so let's ask Miss Nada. Let's ask Miss Nada this very beautiful question. So what would you like to add from your side? How would you like to answer this question?
Okay. I think that this is a really, really important question, and answer what we must have and get every day. Yes, I really start my lessons with well-being, with positive emotion and positive intelligence. What I have a habit to say, I always said, and to my students, take a deep breath. Why take a breath? Take a breath deep, because we must have between our mind and body. We must take care about that. And before we know all that, there was a health wealth day, and that we make ceremonies on the faculties, and also we celebrated that in the world, because that is for me the most important. We are really really under the stress, and if we don't know how to fight, how can we teach our students? That is this online teaching makes the stress more higher. And I always said to my student, don't worry, don't worry, be happy. Why? Because if you are not satisfied, if you can't learn something, we will repeat it. And repeating for me is very important. And I always said that there is no technology that can replace a live world of a teacher. And if you don't see your students face to face, you can't know how do they feel, because there are many students who lives in rural parts, in especially in developed countries, and how I'm sure that there is a big difference between them and the students who lives in towns and who has better conditions for life. And we also need to take in our subject this part, this emotion, intelligence, this well-being, and we really must take care about our students and talk. If we don't talk with them, we really don't know what is happening with them, and help them in every moment.
Thank you so much. So we hope that all of our attendees are satisfied. So we have tried to answer most of the questions. We have still many questions unanswered, but I think we are right now in this moment that we have to move ahead. And lastly, I want to thank all of our all of our panelists who joined us today. I want to thank each and everybody who joined us today. And with that, I'm going to very quickly mention the names as well. So, we started this session with our keynote speaker, Mr. Edward MONDAL. We also got the pleasure of listening to Professor RANIA LAMPOU. We also had the pleasure of listening to Professor Ruben Garcia. We also have had the pleasure of listening to this beautiful panel discussion with all of the amazing panelists, namely Dr. DRAGAN, Professor Nada, Professor Shahriar, Mr. Nicholas Tarasina. So I want to thank all of you from the bottom of my heart for being with us today. And, with that, the panel discussion comes to a conclusion. But right now, I want to request each and everybody to stay with us for a few more, for half an hour, because we are going to introduce the awardee list. This awardee list is being incorporated. This awardee list is being presented by In2Future. Now, these awards are being presented to all of the teachers all around the world who have done really great work in innovative education. Now, these I would, these teachers that have won these awards, I'm going to very quickly announce their names. Now I would request my IT team to present the PPT so that we can move ahead with the participants, with the beautiful teachers who have won these awards. So please present the PPT. So this is the International Innovative Future Education Summit. So, and these awards we would now present. So the International Innovative Future Education Summit Awards of 16th of October 2021. So I want to thank everybody for joining us today, and I want to thank all of those teachers for doing such great, amazing work. These are all of the amazing speakers who we've had the pleasure of listening to today. I have also introduced all of these speakers. So, so once again, I want to thank all of these panelists and speakers for being with us today. About these awards, we have received applications from 2,300 countries, but out of those 2,300, 450 were shortlisted and 110 were selected from 50 countries all over the world. So this is an image of all of those countries, the flags of all of those countries that we've had the pleasure of having a part of with us today. So moving ahead, we are going to congratulate our first awardee, who is Rifat Akhtar Simriti. She is joining us. She joined us from the country of Bangladesh. So congratulations to awardee Rifat Akhtar Simriti, and she is the founder of Ray of Life, and she is from Dhaka. So congratulations. Our next awardee is Mr. Bikesh Mahajan, the principal of Little Flowers Public School, Lalitpur, from the country of Nepal. So congratulations. And our next awardee is Mr. MD Asif Iqbal, the senior lecturer and teacherpreneur, Department of Innovation and Entrepreneurship, Dhaka, from the country of Bangladesh. Congratulations to you. We have an awardee, Mr. Mayambo Gama Ubaid. He is an educator and he is from the country of Kinshasa, the Republic Democratic the Congo. Apologies. Thank you so much, and congratulations to you as well. Next awardee is Shani Ki, the academic coordinator from the country, from my beloved country, India. Congratulations to you as well. Also, we would like to congratulate Samuel G. Silion, an educator at Quest United High School, joining us from the country of Liberia. So congratulations to you as well. So we have these beautiful people from all around the world, and I'm trying to make it as quick as possible. So we have awardee Kahoja Mo Rafi of Ghana, the technical advisor, Afghanistan Youth Leaders Assembly from the country of Germany. Congratulations to you as well. Moving ahead, congratulations to Dr. Ms. Satinder Malhotra, the head of chemistry department and senior science coordinator, St. Thomas's College from the country of India. Congratulations to you as well. Moving ahead, we have awardee Dr. Leo H. Abrian, Managing Director, Studyplex Learning and Development Training Center, Cebu, from the country of Philippines. Congratulations to you as well. Also, we have awardee Yolal Yat, the loyal Yoal Gatku, okay, African Peacemaker Alliance, Papa UBA, from the country of South Sudan. Congratulations to you as well. Also, we have Miss Carla, the principal of Jesus and Mary School, joining us from the country of Lebanon. Congratulations to you. We have Awadje Gabriel Jaba, the CEO, Global Educatement Innovations, Somanya, from the country of Ghana. Congratulations to you. We have Mr. Sandeep Kantwal, the Assistant Professor at Tula's Institution, Uttarakhand, Dehradun, from the country of India. Congratulations to you on winning this award. We have Dr. Yakama Jones. We've had the pleasure of having Dr. Yakama Jones in one of our events. She is an economist, researcher, entrepreneur, philanthropist, Ministry of Finance, University, Sierra Leone, and joining us from the country of Sierra Leone. Congratulations to you, Dr. Yakama Jones. We have Dr. Sujit Polagampala. She is a senior lecturer, Ministry of Education, Colombo, joining us from the country of Sri Lanka. So congratulations to you as well. We have Hassana Bochala, teacher and trainer at Common Nature Ras. Okay, she's joining us from the country of Morocco. Congratulations to you as well. Moving ahead. So another awardee, we have Dr. Manikant Yadav, the Assistant Professor at J.C. Bose University of Science and Technology, Faridabad, from the country of India. Congratulations to you, sir. So all of these awards have been presented by In2Future to all of these amazing people who have done great jobs. And another awardee is Manmohan Joshi, the founder of Vidhik Shiksha Indore, from the country of India. Congratulations to you, Mr. Manmohan. So we have Marcial Kambala Pewa, founder and executive general manager, Pewa Consulting in Internacional, joining us from the country of Angola. So we have a lot of amazing people coming from a lot of amazing countries all over the world. Congratulations to everybody. So we have another awardee, Ms. Hafiza Sabela Javed, the founder and CEO of Aspirational Karachi, joining us from the country of Pakistan. Congratulations to you as well. We have another awardee, Mr. Santosh Subedi, the chairman, Campaign for Educational Awareness, Kathmandu, joining us from the beautiful country of Nepal. Congratulations to you as well. Another awardee, we have Pia Sharma. She's the principal of Ryan International School, Sona Road, joining us from the country of India. Congratulations to you, Ms. Pia Sharma. We have Mr. Joel Menquez. We have had the pleasure of listening to Mr. Joel Menquez, the director of Dr. Yonga's College Incorporated, joining us from the country of Philippines. Congratulations to you, Mr. Joel. We have Ms. Asha Bonaya Liban, now the director of Masabit Divisions, SAKU, joining us from the country of Kenya. Congratulations to you, Ms. Asha. We have Dr. Rupali. Dr. Rupali is the principal of Trinity International School, Pune. Congratulations to you, Dr. Rupali. She's from the country of India. We have Mr. Mark Lorenz. So I believe we've had the pleasure of listening to Mr. Mark Lorenz as well, senior high school teacher joining us from the country of Philippines. So thank you so much and congratulations to you as well. Okay, we have Mr. Izzatullah, the founder and CEO of Chirag Educational Welfare Society from the country of Pakistan. Congratulations to you, Mr. Izzatullah. Okay, we have Mr. Trinos. Mr. Trinos is the educator of 2Future Private Limited, Harar, from the country of Zimbabwe. Congratulations to you as well. Another awardee, we have Dr. Priyanka Bhardwaj, the professor of Abyss Engineering College, Uttar Pradesh, from the country of India. Congratulations to you, Dr. Priyanka. We have Ms. Abhir H. Abyad. She's an educator and she's joining us from the country of state of Palestine. So beautiful. So we have amazing people from really beautiful places. So congratulations to you as well. We have Miss Amber Naveed. She's an educational consultant from the country of Pakistan. Congratulations to you, Miss Amber Naveed. We have Mr. Saeed VH, the principal of Mahmoodiya English School, and joining us from the country of India. Congratulations to you, Mr. Saeed. Moving ahead, we have Mr. Victorio Cristilento. We've had the pleasure of listening to Mr. Victorio as well. He is an educator at Department of Education Schools Division Office, and he is from the beautiful country of Philippines. Congratulations, Mr. Victorio. Moving ahead, we have Mr. Teknath. Mr. Teknath is joining us from the country of Nepal, and he is a program director in Malpi International College, Kathmandu. Congratulations to you. We have Ms. Doriel Sakina, English language instructor, Oman College of Health Sciences, Muscat. Okay, joining us from Oman as well. So thank you so much, and congratulations to you as well. Moving ahead, we have Miss Shubha R. She is a music teacher, so congratulations to you, Miss Shubha, and she is also from the country of India. Also going to bag the award from In2Future. So congratulations to each and everybody who've made, who won this award. It's not a very small thing, but since the list is very big, it might seem like, a lot of people have backed this award. So another awardee, Mr. MD Anwar Hussain, the Chief Executive Officer, Vista Point International, Bangladesh, Dhaka, from the country of Bangladesh. Congratulations to you as well. So we have Dr. Mathumanya, the assistant professor at Universidad Al Asaria, joining us from the country of Indonesia. Congratulations to you as well. Moving ahead, we have Mr. Pratosh Mishra, the SRDG MURYA Limited, Kashipur, from the country of India. Congratulations to Mr. Pratosh Mishra. Moving ahead, we have Dr. Ernest Fahim, an amazing person. We've had the pleasure of listening to Dr. Ernest Fahim as well, the CEO of Silanius University, Pakistan, Support Office, Lahore, Punjab, joining from the country of Pakistan. Congratulations to you as well. So we have Miss Ramya. So she is the National Head Operations, Apollo Shine Foundation, Chennai. So congratulations to Miss Ramya. She is from the country of India as well. Moving ahead. So we have Sheikh MD Rakibul Islam, the principal at Technical School and College in Nator, from the country of Bangladesh. We have Mr. J. Mark B. Santos, assistant to the VPAA professor, LA Consolation University, Philippines, from the country of Philippines as well. Congratulations. We have a lot of entries from Philippines, a lot of entries from India. So there we go. Mr. Y. David Solomon, the associate professor at Department of ECE, from the country of India. Apologies, I cannot read that. Moving ahead, we have Ms. Sabnam Musatari. If I'm not wrong, I've had the pleasure of listening to Ms. Sabnam Musatari, an amazing woman, a very powerful woman. She is a shared leadership goal assistant professor from the country of Bangladesh as well. Congratulations to you, Ms. Shabnam. Mr. Jelani, the Assistant Dean, he is joining us from the Marawi city, from the beautiful country of Philippines as well. Congratulations to you, Mr. Jelani. We have Mr. Amoymi, sorry, Miss Amoymi. Miss Amoymi is from the beautiful country of Nigeria. Miss Amoymi, congratulations to you as well. Another awardee, we have Saika Sonko, the Gambia Youth Service, member. He is from the country of Gambia. Congratulations to you, Mr. Saika. Another awardee, we have Dr. Sartaj Ali Khan, the assistant teacher at New Habib High School, Mumbai, from the country of India. Congratulations, Dr. Sartaj. We have another awardee, Dr. Lee Saw Im, amazing personality. She is from the country of Malaysia. Congratulations, Dr. Lee Saw Im. Another awardee, Dr. Nirmeen Muhammad Shalabe, from the country of Egypt. Congratulations to you as well. We have Ms. Hafsa Hajj. She is an English language teacher, and she's joining us from the country of Algeria. Congratulations to you. We have Mr. Gibran Ali Khan, the Executive Director of Socio-Engineering Technologies, SETI Islamabad, from the country of Pakistan. Congratulations. We have Mr. Kelvin Ogba, CEO OGBA Educational Clinic Delta, from the country of Nigeria. Congratulations. We have Professor Dr. Prakash H. Patil from the country of India, joining us from Pune. Congratulations, Professor Prakash. We have Mr. Mahamba Sebastian. I've had the pleasure of listening to this amazing person. He's a teacher, trainer, and program manager, and he's from the country of Tanzania. Congratulations, Mr. Mahamba Sebastian. We have Miss Marwa Muhammad. I've had the pleasure of listening to her as well. She's an educator, and she's from the beautiful country of Libya. Congratulations, Miss Marwa. So another awardee we have is Miss Petrika Gonde. She is from the country of Zimbabwe. Congratulations, Miss Petrika. We have Miss Hassani. Miss Hassani, she is an administrative assistant, Southeast European University. She is from North Macedonia. Congratulations. We have Miss Gumasi Sankaran. She is a science teacher, and she's joining us from Malaysia. Congratulations, Ms. Gomti. So I'm trying very hard to pronounce all of the names correctly, and a lot of love to all of these winners. So Mr. Bir Bansh Baitha, the headmaster at Sri Adunk Rashtriya Secondary School from the beautiful country of Nepal. Congratulations. We have Dr. Dhanraj, the Director of General NIED Education Council, Jaipur, from the beautiful country of India. Congratulations. We have Mr. Kumaran, who is the educator at Sikola. Okay, I cannot pronounce that. He is from the country of Malaysia. Congratulations to you as well. Bravo. We have Dr. Hitesh Panchal, the assistant professor at Government Engineering College from the country of India. Congratulations, Dr. Hitesh. So we have Ms. Isha Gauri, psychologist and educator from the beautiful country of India. Congratulations, Ms. Isha. We have Mr. Aaron Kopgo, the founder of Lordstone Life Coaching Consultancy. I've had the pleasure of listening to this amazing person. He's from the country of Ghana. Congratulations to you as well. We have Dr. R. Jaya Karthik from the country of India. Congratulations, Dr. R. Jaya Karthik. We have Mr. Wilfredo from the country of Philippines. He is a school principal, Department of Education, Japan. Congratulations to you, Mr. Wilfredo. We have Dr. Sandeep Gun, the headmaster at a higher secondary school, and also from the beautiful country of India. Congratulations, Dr. Sandeep. We have Buddhi Raj Joshi, Mr. Buddhi Raj Joshi. I've had the pleasure of listening to Dr. Buddhi Raj as well. So from the beautiful country of Nepal, congratulations, Dr. Buddhi Raj. We have Mr. Darwin and Yen have had the pleasure of listening to this amazing person as well from the country of Philippines. Congratulations, Dr. Darwin, Mr. Darwin. I just keep on adding doctor to everything. We have Dr. Pratik Ranjan. Congratulations from Mumbai, from the beautiful country of India. Congratulations to you as well. We have Mr. Dominic Libris. I've had the pleasure of listening to Mr. Dominic as well from the country of Thailand. Congratulations to you. We have Dr. Benu Prasad Situla, the principal at Nepal DPM school from the country of Nepal. Congratulations. We have Dr. Ram Chandra Swami. He is a teacher at Government Secondary School, Masala, Rajasthan, joining us from the country of India. Congratulations. We have we have a beautiful country, the first entry of Tennessee. So Mr. Gasumi Benamor, congratulations to you as well. So that's a first entry from Tennessee. So we have Mr. Abraham Bangora from the country of Juania. Congratulations to you, Mr. Bangora. We have Mr. Baba Tunde joining us from the United States. Bravo, bravo. Congratulations to you as well. We have Dr. Shilpa Indoria, the principal of GD Goenka International School from the country of India. Congratulations to you. We have Ms. Mariam Noor Yunus. That's a beautiful name. She is from the country of Bangladesh. Congratulations to you as well. We have Mr. Muhammad Bala Kadu, the founder and CEO of Furkan Hub Kankia from the country of Nigeria. Congratulations. We have Mr. Lemar Ahmed Aksir, the educator at International Committee of the Red Cross, Glendale Heights from the country of United States. Congratulations to you as well. Moving ahead, we have a very difficult name. That is Ms. Shea Abdullah. Ms. Shea Abdullah. She is from Malaysia. Congratulations to you as well. I hope I've pronounced the name correctly. So I keep on adding a little bit of humor so that you don't get completely bored. So this is Dr. Pavani. Dr. Pavani is if I'm not incorrect, she is a member right now in this beautiful meeting. Congratulations, Dr. Pavani. You've done a great job. You deserve this. She's from the country of India, so she has also won this award. Congratulations. We have Mr. Kong Satsan. Joining us from the country of Myanmar. So that's a first entry from Myanmar as well. Congratulations to you. we have Dr. Cristobal Ambayon from the country of Philippines. Congratulations to you. Moving ahead. Dr. Gloria, I've had the pleasure of listening to Dr. Gloria, amazing personality from the country of Philippines. Congratulations, Dr. Gloria. Mr. Emily, so joining us from the country of Nigeria. So honored to be, saying all of these names out loud. Such amazing people, and I'm feeling a little bad because I cannot elaborate all of these all of these personalities, because I know some of these personalities, but since we are running out of time, I'm making it as quick as possible. So let's move ahead. So Mr. Rakesh Kumar. Mr. Rakesh Kumar is an assistant teacher at Sethi HM Sarvajanik High School, Mansa, from the country of India as well. So congratulations to you as well. Okay, thank you so much for your time. So I've tried to make that as quick as possible. So I think we are done with all of the list of all of these amazing teachers. So we have tried to make this least boring, but these amazing people have done so much, great stuff that we've had to present these awards to them from In2Future. And this is me, Smyra, and I want to thank all of you beautiful, amazing personalities for being with me today, for being with all of us. We created this beautiful environment and we talked about so many amazing things. It's always amazing to have people from really beautiful countries. I cannot express how much I love having people from different countries, interacting with them, and all of this knowledge that you guys have gathered from all of these years, you just share with us so easily, just like that. And it is so amazing, and we appreciate it and we love it. So, at last, I want to invite Dr. Rania over there, looking really, really beautiful. Would you like to add, any, words, since we are concluding this event?
Well, first of all, I would like to congratulate all of our guests today, because I think it's very, very important for the national organizations and institutions to recognize all the amazing, outstanding efforts that teachers are doing every day with their students, especially during this COVID pandemic, supporting students morally, educationally, psychologically. And I think that during the COVID pandemic, teachers showcased the leading role because they were unsung heroes. And now they prove that they can be celebrated heroes. We know all these amazing efforts they have done during the remote learning. Remote learning, it's not easy. And I think that this is just a reward, a moral reward, and the motivation for teachers to move forward and to prove that they can do miracles with the students. This is, I think.
Okay, so I might be, biased here because I am a woman myself. I want to turn to Miss Nada, at last. So with that beautiful smile, what would you like to, say from your side as we are?
I would like to say from my side that you were today amazing. That is first. And this event today and this conference is for me wonderful. Want to congratulate to all speakers, panelists, to all awarded, to our organizer, to our manage. It is great. And also I must remind one person who was making us together, Assistant Professor Pradipta Mandal. Thank you very much for your big efforts and your organization. Yes, this topic is very important. Our knowledge, sharing our knowledge, ideas, our work is very important because we all are coming from different countries. Today, I am from Croatia, DRAGAN is from Macedonia, RANIA is from Greece, Professor Edmondo is from Canada. So today, here we're Europe and Canada. We share our examples. We share what we think about it, what we do with our students, and all here participants from different countries are wonderful, are amazing, and we are all here together learning. So thank you very much for this today, for this great event.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. So Ms. Nada has already mentioned, we would also like to thank Mr. Pradipta Mandal. He has done so much to make this event successful. So without your efforts, this event it just couldn't have been like, possible. It just wasn't possible, but because you made it possible. So thank you so much for, all of these efforts that you made. So I think with that, we have reached this point of conclusion, and this is the time that we need to say goodbye to each other. And, with all of that knowledge that we gathered, keep it within ourselves, definitely going to stay with us forever. So this is me, Smaira, and thank you so much, Mr. Pradipta Mandal, for this beautiful event. And thank you everybody for joining with us and sharing all of that amazing stuff that you shared with us today. Once again, thank you everybody, and thank you all of the attendees. So have a beautiful evening ahead. It's evening here in India, so have a beautiful time ahead. Thank you so much. Mr. Shahryar, please go ahead if you'd like to say anything.
It is a very nice event, and I give thanks from my side to you, because it's a long journey. You just talk and talk smoothly. You concluding this thing, and also Professor Pradipta, actually he is the man from behind. So I give my thanks to you and all of the award who actually win the award. So that's I also congratulate them. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Amazing. Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much.